Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're diving into some fantastic advice from the YouTube channel Rituki Diary, and we're tackling a big one. Can you actually be best friends with your husband? We're going to break down how to make that friendship the strongest part of your marriage. You've heard this one before, right? It's almost this accepted fact. People say you can share a house, share your life, even share kids, but you can never really, truly be friends.
But is it? Is that really the truth? Or is it just something we've all kind of bought into without questioning it? Well, the source we're looking at today says there's a totally different way to see this.
So, let's talk about this so-called impossible friendship. The source points out something pretty obvious when you think about it. Nobody walks down the aisle expecting their marriage to fail. We all start off with these huge hopes and dreams for a life together. So, where do things start to get off track? And here it is, the big idea from the source. It's usually not about a lack of love, not at all. The real problem is the giant gap between the person we thought we were marrying and the real, actual human being who's with us every day. That gap, that's where the trouble starts. Which brings us to the first and maybe the most important shift you have to make. And it has nothing to do with changing your partner. It's all about changing your own mindset. It starts inside, with choosing acceptance instead of holding on to expectations.
This slide just lays it all out so perfectly. On the left, you've got what we see in the movies, this filmy romance, full of nonstop grand gestures from some perfect person who doesn't exist. But then look to the right, look at the reality. What we often get is so much better. A partner who's responsible, a presence that is genuinely caring, and a real, flawed human being, just like we are.
So the takeaway here is really simple but powerful. If you want to build a real friendship in your marriage, step one is to accept the person you actually married, not the fantasy version you've built up in your head. Okay, so we've got the mindset part down, but what does this look like in the real world, in our everyday lives? Well, it boils down to two really important things: time and tolerance. The source asks a question that really makes you stop and think. That moment when your husband walks through the door after a long day, where does your focus, your time, actually go? And wow, this chart puts it into perspective. Look at this example. Maybe 40% of your evening goes to calls with family, another 35% on the kids' homework, 15% on chores, and then you see it. That tiny little slice of yellow, just 10% left for your partner. It's not that those other things aren't important, they are, but it just shows how easily that connection can get squeezed out if you're not careful. And then there's tolerance. We all have those little things that drive us nuts, right? Maybe he eats in bed or doesn't take a shower the second he gets home. The source suggests we ask ourselves one very simple question. Does this actually cause any real harm? And if the answer is no, well, maybe protecting the peace in your home is way more important than winning that little fight.
But, okay, let's be real. Some things do matter. Some habits are genuinely a problem. So how do you deal with those real disagreements without everything blowing up into a huge fight?
While the source gives us a simple 3-step guide. First, start with love. Any tough conversation should begin with affection. Second, no threats. Saying things like, "I'm going to leave," doesn't work. It just puts up a huge wall between you. And third, and this is a big one, be patient. People don't change overnight. It takes time and gentle, consistent effort. Now, this next point is absolutely crucial because all of this work, this effort, it can't be a one-person job. Building a friendship is never a one-way street. It really truly takes two to connect. And that means it's time for a little self-reflection. Are you giving the same time, care, and affection that you're hoping to get back? It's so easy to take our partners for granted. The source also reminds us that a relationship isn't just you and me. It's about accepting each other's families and working through those issues as a team, not letting them divide you. In the end, it all comes down to a little give and take from both sides. Okay, for our last section, we've got an idea that might sound a little strange at first. What if I told you that fighting isn't always a bad thing? I absolutely love this metaphor from the source. If utensils are kept in one place, they will make noise. It's so perfect, right? You put two people together in the same space, day in and day out. Of course there's going to be some clashing. It's just natural. So here's the real insight. The fight itself is not the enemy. A healthy relationship isn't one where you never argue. It's one where you've gotten really, really good at reconnecting after the argument is over. And get this, there can actually be a benefit to it. The process of making up can make you feel even closer than before. You know that moment when a caring partner tries to fix things? Maybe they suggest going out to dinner or shopping. That's not just an offer for food. It's a signal. It's them saying, "Hey, we're okay. We're a team again." And that leaves us with one final question to think about. What if the ideal relationship isn't one that's perfectly calm and fight-free?
What if the real goal is to build a bond so strong that you actually grow closer and more connected after every storm you weather together?